Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you're all well. I hope you're all having a great day. I've certainly enjoyed that game. As you can probably tell with a smile on my face, that was absolutely brilliant. We've got a new mic today. Please, guys, let me know how the mic is. Is the sound good? Please do let me know, because this is a new mic I'm trying out today, just to try and improve the sound quality, etc. But do let me know about that, guys. But as always, get involved in the comments. There's a lot to talk about tonight. Adrian's in the building. Come on, lad. I will, mate. Don't worry. Jaheim, Leacher, big up, mates, and big up to Martinez as well. But let me know, guys. Let me know on this mic. How's the sound? How's everything? Just let me know everything's working well, and then we can move on with the show. But I just want to make sure the sound quality is all good. McTominay, yeah. To be fair to McTominay, he had a pretty decent game. He had a pretty decent game, McTominay today. In all fairness, and I'm not going to read out Adrian's comment. Yeah. Adrif, it's good. Thanks a lot, mate. This actually went from a grocer to a butcher. Brilliant. Yeah, guys, I did say earlier, I think we could get something out of the game. And we obviously went through like a possible 3 at the back, 5 at the back system, right? But we also talked about if we do play 4 at the back, I did say you need your 2 wide players need to be really, really disciplined, and they were for the most of the game. Our wide players, that was the key, really, stopping Robertson and Alexander-Arnold. But to be honest with you, throughout the whole team, it wasn't just sort of stopping them. We actually had some threat ourselves, looking back at thinking back at the game, we created a few chances in the first half. And I just thought, you know what? That was a team that showed a lot of fight. So we'll get into, I might do a tactical sort of thing on Twitter, or I might do a sort of tactical video tomorrow. But for now, we'll just talk about the game itself, just a sort of summary overall. Yep, they were. Eriksen played quite well. He really did. Yeah, Varane and Martinez were excellent. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, Jaheim, and that's fair play on Ten Hag. Fair play. Like, obviously, I advocated a change of system, but you know what? Fair play to Erik Ten Hag with the team he picked, with the subs he made. I did emphasise before the game, our wide players need to be really, they need to stretch the Liverpool fullbacks, make sure that they stretch them and threaten them, but also make sure they get into good positions defensively. And they did that really, really well. Really, really well. Varane was caught. I need to see that back, because I think for that goal, I think Malaysia should have he went to head it, and he should have got more. I think Malaysia should have done better for the Liverpool goal, but I need to rewatch that back, because there's a lot of emotions going on. I will watch it back. Adrian, yeah, Maguire, fair enough to Erik Ten Hag. He dropped Maguire and Ronaldo and got a result. Yeah, Malaysia was excellent overall. Yeah, fair enough. Alien Tenor, big up, mate. I hope you're doing well, mate. Yeah, Malaysia, we're going to talk about him in a minute. Really impressed. And Bertus, yeah, really. Yeah, I think I see where you're coming from, Bertus. I think Ronaldo was probably brought on just for that aerial threat in both boxes. He doesn't win that many aerial duels when he's attacking, but at least he challenges for it. The ball might deflect, and it will disrupt Liverpool's play somehow. So I think, to be fair, I understand why he made that change and why he brought Fred on. But yeah, guys, I'm really really happy with this. Obviously, Glazer's out, and continue to protest and everything. Of course, we've still got those issues there. But as I said, you you can't. We can call Glazers out and everything like that, but you've still got to focus on the players on the pitch. We've still got to talk about the football on the pitch as well. And there's still things that we could do. And I said before the game, I just fancied us to get a result. I just fancied something tonight. Something had to give, and we've now got 3 points on the board. Sorry, guys, I've been shouting for the last however many hours, and my voice has gone. I needed a bit of a drink, but yeah, really, really impressed, really, really happy. Thanks a lot, mate. I'm downstairs tonight. Downstairs. I'm hoping to get more of a sort of a green screen background and improve the visuals. I've got a microphone now as well, so we're advancing. Fred, yeah, we'll talk about that in a moment. I think Fred, I did say at half time, I think Martial and Fred would be two that would come on. It made sense. Yeah, Ronaldo, as I said, I understand that as well. Yeah, certainly, mate. Certainly, we're going to discuss player by player in a moment. We'll do the ratings and everything. I get that, Bertus. I totally get that, mate. But I think as well, you can't really throw a young player straight into a game like this. I think you need a little bit of you need players that are more disciplined, players that are more experienced in this type of game. Yeah, and I agree with that. So please, guys, if you're watching right now, please smash a like on the video. Please smash a like. Get involved in the comments as well. We're going to do player ratings. We're going to do all of that. I might do a sort of a tactical show tomorrow, but this is mostly just going to be match reaction stuff. So just going through player ratings, what we thought generally from the game. So I just think from minute one, we were the better team. When I saw the lineup, I was pleased with the fact that he brought in Malaysia. I think that was one of the big things I liked from the lineup. I think Malaysia, I did a piece of analysis on Malaysia the day after the Conference League final, or it was a Conference League final, wasn't it, when he played against Roma. So when Jose's Roma beat Feyenoord, and I said I did a video on Malaysia, and I watched him a few times before, and I've always said Malaysia, this kid has got something. From watching him, I watched him about 5 or 6 times before that Conference League final, and I said, this kid has got something, Malaysia. Not just his ability, not just his pace, his one-on-one defending, his output in the final third. Yeah, some of his corners today were a bit too long. Yeah, you could give him that criticism, but it's not just his attributes, it's his actual personality, his mentality. And that's a big reason why I wanted Malaysia in. If I did a thread on Malaysia, I did an analysis on him, I don't know when it was, when he was signed, the day that we'd sort of hijacked that deal. And I said on a few shows as well, I think Malaysia could be one of the best signings for money of the season. I said that. And he's played a good game today, and things can happen in the future. But I'll always hold by that. I'll always stand by that comment, even if he goes off form. For £17 million or however much it was, Malaysia was an excellent signing for that value for money. That was excellent signing. It really, really was. So I said that back then, and I stand by that now. I think value for money to get that player in was excellent. So I'm happy for Malaysia. He definitely starts for me again on Saturday against Southampton. Obviously, Varane came in. I think Varane was really good. Obviously, you're always worried about Varane in terms of his is he a sustainable option, obviously, with his injury records. But Varane was excellent, really, really was. Very commanding in the air in particular. I'd like to have a look at the aerial duel stats, but I'd imagine he won most of his aerials. Martinez, again, I thought he played well against Brighton on the first day. I don't think he was as bad against Brentford as a lot of people made out. I thought he was a scapegoat against Brentford. I thought he actually played not too bad. I think a lot of people gave him too much stick. And again today, I thought he was absolutely excellent. And Diogo Dalot, in all fairness to him, I thought he played decently well as well. There are times where you can see with Dalot his positioning isn't quite there, etc. But the fight was there. I think Diaz struggled against him for the whole game. I don't think Diaz got a lot of change out of him. So yeah, the back four, guys. What do you guys think in terms of? Let's start with De Gea with the player rating. So let's start with De Gea, and then we'll go to the back four. So for me, I thought De Gea, there was a clear strategy for De Gea to kick it long. Unless I'm mistaken, guys, I don't know whether I can remember a time where De Gea played it I can't remember more than one or two times where De Gea played a short goal kick. Was you guys let me know because you know it's better to have everyone's got a different pair of eyes to look at things. But unless I know I'm a bit blind without my glasses, but with these glasses I should be able to see. For what I saw, I can't remember David De Gea taking many short goal kicks. I really can't. So that was obviously an obvious strategy. Don't play short. And the thing is, when you're playing against Liverpool, if you play, if you sort of give Liverpool a taste of their own medicine, if you press them with intensity, if you actually say no, Liverpool, you can have the ball. You have the ball. We know you know when you're playing Liverpool, they haven't got the quality in the midfield area. They haven't got the world class midfield players to break you down. They've obviously got fantastic fullbacks who are like the creative players, but they haven't got those excellent midfield players. Other than Thiago, you could argue. Maybe Keita is also a good technical player, but they haven't got that. Liverpool are not fantastic. They haven't proved fantastic at breaking down low blocks. Right? That is something that they have struggled against, and it's not just about low blocks; it's also about mid blocks. Just when they can't have their own way, when you just get in their faces, even if you're playing a low block, even today when we did sit back in a low block, we still really pressed them with a lot of intensity. So if we think about De Gea overall, I'd give David De Gea a. I think he made a couple of good saves. I know a lot of his kicking was sort of went out of touch at times, but I'll give David De Gea probably an 8 out of 10. I thought De Gea was. I thought he did pretty well tonight in terms of his saves he made. I think he sweeped once. He claimed, I think, a cross as well. I know that should happen for a goalkeeper, but we're not used to seeing it too much from De Gea. So let me know, guys. What do you guys think, David De Gea? I think he was an 8 out of 10. I thought he was pretty good. Yeah, I could do, Vaughan. I could do. Big up, mate. Big up. Yeah, I know, mate. I know. Demand more. Demand more. The Football Manager instruction. I used that yesterday when I was doing my Football Manager. Second in the Championship with Nottingham Forest, by the way. So we're trying to. That this is when they were in the Championship. So I'm trying to get Nottingham Forest back in the Premier League. Yeah, I've totally agree. Totally agree. Malaysia was excellent. David De Gea redeemed himself. Fair enough, Adrian. I think he's just. I think in terms of the modern keeper, I don't think he's gonna. I think he's got a lot of work to do in this system, but I want him to do it. I'm going to support him to do it, of course, and I hope he does it. But there's still weaknesses that show, of course, like every other player. 7 out of 10, fair enough. Yeah, exactly, Michel. I think that was a clear instruction. And to be honest with you, it's not a bad idea. If you don't want to play out from the back and you know Liverpool are really, really good in their press, if you just kick it long and feed off the scraps, what a brilliant way. It gets you up the pitch and then you can feed off the scraps and put them under pressure. So it's actually a really, really good technique. It's actually something we should have tried to do against Brentford. And I know Brentford have got, I think, I can't remember what formation. I think Brentford played a back three. I can't really remember the Brentford game. It felt that long ago. But obviously, Brentford have got a lot of physical profiles at centre half. They've got a lot of demanding centre back. So when we did play it long, obviously we struggled to bring it down. We didn't have Martial as well, which I think was a loss. But for me, David De Gea, there was a clear instruction, kick it long, and it worked. So fair enough. So for me, David De Gea, I think an 8 out of 10, 7 or 8 out of 10, I think is fair for De Gea. Let me know, guys. What do you think of David De Gea? Let me know in the comments. Right, let's go on to Diogo Dalot then. So Dalot, as I said before, I think Diaz. I don't think him and Diaz. I think both of them sort of puffed and puffed. I don't think Dalot was absolutely brilliant. But I don't think Diaz was absolutely brilliant. I think one on one against each other, I think they sort of cancelled each other out, which is excellent for what Dalot's defensive weaknesses are. The fact that Dalot kept him reasonably quiet is very, very good. So yeah, Dalot, still a few things he can improve on, his positioning, his awareness at times. But I thought Dalot again was good. I give him another sort of a 7 out of 10 for Diogo Dalot. But let me know, guys, what do you guys think? Diogo Dalot out of 10. What would you guys say? What would you guys say? Burgess says Brandon Williams is right back. Yeah, look, Brandon Williams is a. I don't think anyone doubts Brandon Williams' sort of effort and drive. You know, I respect that a lot for Williams. But for me, I've always felt Williams. I think just at times he's a little bit too rash. You know, like sometimes he doesn't need to sort of make that go in for that tackle. He can just be a bit more. He can just be a little bit more. What's the word? A little bit more safe. A little bit more clever with the way he does things. But yeah, in terms of his passion, everything, I think Malaysia is on a different level in terms of the technical ability than Williams. That's my personal view. That's my personal view. Yeah, exactly. Mendy, obviously Leeds, very much an aggressive team as well, a tenacious team. 7 for Dallo, 6.5 for Dallo. Maguire, yeah, good performance from the bench from Maguire. But yeah, Dallo, yeah, a bit of banter in the comments, great stuff. Yeah, Dallo, I think it's around a 7 out of 10 is fair. But guys, there's 37 people watching right now. It's a lot of people, guys. Let's try and let's make sure every person right now is watching. Manchester United have just beaten Liverpool by 2 goals to 1. I want you to all to like the video. Like the video. Man United have just won the game. Let's be positive. Let's show me some support. I'll always show you guys some support and appreciation as well. But please like the video right now if you're watching. Let's celebrate this win. 2-1 to United. Brilliant. Another 7 there as well. Yeah, brilliant. So let's go on to Varane. For me, Varane was a 8. I would say Varane 8 out of 10. Very good in the air. Again, when he got tested, I thought he did really, really well. Overall, very, very good performance. I'd say we looked a little bit more secure. We could be a little bit more aggressive as well with with Varane in there. So yeah, I'd say Varane very, very good. 8 out of 10. Martinez was the man of the match for me. I think Malaysia and Martinez, you could argue, were probably the two standout players if you were to give any standout players. But for me, Martinez would be a 9. Honestly, a 9 out of 10. And what people don't notice, and rightly so, we're focusing on Martinez in terms of his defensive work, his ground duels, etc. But on the ball as well today, there are a few times where Martinez was under pressure. And I remember he was being pressed by a Liverpool player. And it's just the way he changes his body angle. Like, this is something that's not talked about much in football, right? It's not talked about much in football. It's like body angles, changing your body angles, changing your angles to be able to receive a pass when you're under pressure, being able to turn out of pressure. I don't think we talk about this enough in football. Like, the things that we don't see, like, a lot of people focus on things you can see, like a pass, a shot, a goal, a block. There's things that people don't recognize, like positioning. The way a player changes his body shape to receive a pass, to play a pass. When I watch Martinez, he's just class on the ball. He really, really is just class. He uses class. He's calm. He's collected. Of course, you're always going to make 1 or 2 mistakes. Of course you are. But everybody does, right? But it's just about reducing those mistakes. And if you've got a centre back who's that calm on the ball, it just sort of transfers the calmness, the sort of the coolness throughout the whole team. And that team will look at Martinez and think, well, I can trust this guy. Not just off the ball in terms of winning duels, being aggressive, getting into people's faces, the mentality. Also, sort of barging into people. I remember when he barged Milner down into the hoardings below the pitch, and when Milner got back up and Martinez just shoulder barge. It's just things like that as well. But I think Martinez 9 out of 10 for me. Absolutely excellent. Varane 8, yeah, Varane 8 to 9. I can't argue with that. Yeah, 8. Yeah, very, very good. But this comment, I think on Martinez last week, he got far too much criticism last week, and I said this on Twitter. Right, you guys can back me up on this because I did say this in the on Twitter. I said Martinez will struggle against certain opponents in the Premier League. Of course, he will. I've never argued against that. But if you look back at the thread I did on Martinez when he joined, I said in terms of Martinez, in terms of what Ten Hag wants, his height, the fact that he's 5'9" is not irrelevant, but it doesn't count as much compared to the attributes he brings on the ball, the calmness he brings on the ball, the aggression he brings off the ball, right? We will concede a few goals. Like against Brentford, we conceded, I think, the 3rd goal where Ben Mee beat Martinez to it. Still, Martinez should have been more aggressive. His positioning could have been better for that goal, right? Even if a taller player went up against Ben Mee, that we still might have conceded, right? So you will concede a few goals here and there. Martinez one-on-one in aerial duel, of course you will. But what people don't realise is that the circumstance where you find yourself in an aerial duel one-on-one, those circumstances are much sort of less frequent than the circumstances when he's on the ball, when he's going to be on the ball so much. You think the majority of teams were going to dominate possession. He's going to have more of the ball. He's going to make more of an impact in terms of build-up play than he is. He's going to contribute more in that sense than we're going to sort of suffer from the lack of height. So that's what I just think. I think people need to put it into context. I think Jamie Carragher, who I actually sort of I think Jamie Carragher understands football quite well generally, in all fairness, although he's a Liverpool fan. Jamie Carragher gave him way too much stick last week, way too much stick. He ruled him out straight away, which wasn't right. Wasn't right. He said Martinez can't be a centre back in the Premier League. That's rubbish, and I've said that from day one. I've said that from day one. He can be a centre back in the Premier League. You've just got to make sure that he has protection around him. You can bring in more of a commanding goalkeeper. You can have a centre half next to him who's very dominant. Okay, you can be aggressive off the ball. If you think about how aggressive we were off the ball today, how many aerial duels did Martinez actually have to challenge for? How many did he actually have to challenge for? So Martinez for me, 9 out of 10, excellent. And I think his lack of height, this argument that he can't play centre half, I don't agree with that. And I could be proved wrong. Of course I could. I hope I'm not, but I could be proved wrong. But I don't buy into that. I think he'll settle in. I really do. It might take him time. We will concede goals at times, but I think the contribution he's going to give us on the ball through his progressive passing, through his really how comfortable he is, his mentality as well that he brings, he's going to be a net positive for Manchester United. The same as Malaysia. Let's talk about Malaysia. 9 out of 10 as well for me. Malaysia, let me know, guys. Get your comments in, guys. Please like the video. If you please do subscribe. Bringing out a lot of content at the moment. I haven't been too well with my health, but I'm trying to sort of recover and get better. But I would really appreciate it if you guys subscribe. Please do like the video as well. Get involved in the comments. Let me know what you thought of the game. Malaysia then. Malaysia. Excellent. You guys know I've been a fan of this guy for a long time. Why? Well, just the majority of things he does I really like. He's quick. He's good one-on-one defensively. He's quite calm on the ball. He's quite press resistant. His output's quite good. Absolutely excellent today. 9 out of 10. Absolutely excellent. Yes, you're going to get beat 1 or 2 times. He did. You're up against Mo Salah. You're going to get beat 1 or 2 times. The best fullbacks in the world will get beat 1 or 2 times against Mo Salah in a game of football, of course. But on the whole, even when he got beat by Mo Salah, look at the way he recovered. Absolutely excellent. So for me, Tyrell Malacia, 9 out of 10, absolutely excellent. Tyrell Evra, brilliant. But yeah, brilliant. Really was. I'm glad Ten Hag made the change. Fair play to Ten Hag for doing that. But yeah, brilliant for Malacia. Let's go on. Let's talk about Elanga. Let's talk about Elanga on that left-hand side. To be honest with you, I thought Elanga was okay. I think what Elanga gives you is something different. I don't think Anthony Elanga has incredible technical ability. Right? I don't think he does. But what I do know is that Elanga's quick. He's aware. He's smart. He'll work hard. He's better defensively than a lot of our attacking players. And he'll do a job for you. I remember watching Dan James yesterday for Leeds. Whatever you think of Dan James in terms of his technical ability, does he do incredible things? No, he doesn't. But what Dan James will give you is that drive, that work ethic, the awareness. He'll be part of a good unit on and off the ball. Right? And I was happy for Dan James to go. And if Dan James was still here, I wouldn't mind if he was our fourth or fifth choice winger, right? Fourth or fifth. I'm not saying that Dan James or Elanga should be starting for us every week. They shouldn't, right? But Anthony Elanga, what he will always give you is the awareness, the work ethic. He'll give you pace. He will, and you can use whatever stats you want. And he doesn't score many goals. He can be part, and he will be part of a good, cohesive team on and off the ball. And that's what he was. He should have scored when he hit the post, but he got the assist for Sancho's goal. I think he caused Alexander-Arnold. I think the first couple of times he took him on, Alexander-Arnold got the better of him. And I think he grew into the game. And then he was obviously took off at half-time. Fair enough for Ten Hag. We'll talk about that sub. But for me, I'd give Elanga a 6.5, 6.5, maybe 7, pushing a 7. Overall, I just thought he was really important for us. And again, I'm going to do a thread or a video probably tomorrow on this. But what people don't realize is things you don't see. We all do it. We've all done it in the past. We all do it now. We always focus on who scores the goal or who makes the tackle, or we don't focus on positioning. The team shape, how vital that is to stopping a great team like Liverpool. And Elanga, I'll put out a video tomorrow or a thread, or in the next couple of days I'll do some sort of analysis on this game because it was really, really interesting. But Elanga was really important for us in that first half. Alexander-Arnold didn't have too much of the ball. He couldn't impact things on that right-hand side or our left-hand side. So for me, Elanga, I've got doubts about the future in terms of technical ability, in terms of first choice player. I don't think he'll be a first choice player for Erik ten Hag. I just think he'll be a good utility player to use in certain games. Okay, McTominay, again, 7 out of 10. I thought he actually did quite well. We know, again, he's another player that's rather limited in certain aspects, but gave a lot. His passing was actually okay. I thought he was more progressive today, which I was really, really happy with. And yeah, I thought we played really well in that midfield. So McTominay, 7. Eriksen, 7 as well. I thought Eriksen got stuck in well. There was a few times where he played some good forward passes. I'm just trying to think of anything else on Eriksen. He had a free kick that got well saved by Alisson. So yeah, for me, Eriksen was really, really good. Eriksen was good as well. So I give those two a 7. I put out on Twitter before the game. I got a bit of stick from people, but I said we should play. I said I think McTominay and Fred will play, and I was surprised they both didn't start, to be honest with you. But fair enough to Erik ten Hag for starting Eriksen in there. Really, really good. I agree on Elanga. Yep, for sure. Sorry, I forgot this comment as well. For sure, I agree. Yes, exactly. The thing is, Alien Tenno, and I said this earlier, and I've said this on Twitter. I think I said it to a few friends as well, behind sort of not on Twitter or on here, on a few messages and things like that. I thought we could get a result today. I really, really did, and I said this on the show earlier. I think we could get something. I went for a 1-1 draw. But I wouldn't have been happy to draw 1-1 when it was half time. I'm really, really happy that we won the game. But this is a massive, massive moment for Erik ten Hag. Massive, massive moment. Yes, it is true that we were playing a team today where maybe we're suited to this type of game. Maybe we're suited to this type of game where we've got fast, direct players, and when we win the ball back, we look quickly to counter, be aggressive. We haven't got a lot of technical quality maybe in that midfield. So we just try and make it more of a battle and then sort of hurt them on the counter, particularly in the right channel against Alexander-Arnold, which I mentioned on the show earlier. But although I think the game suited us in terms of the opponent, the type of play, being at home, a lot of anger in the fan base, there's a lot of factors that went for us today. I do think there's something to work with. I really, really do. But when we do play a team that likes to, retreat and likes to close the holes and close the gaps against us, we're going to have to think about ways to do it. We're going to have to think about ways to improve. Also, when we come up against a team, look, we can't really do what David De Gea did in terms of taking long kicks and every single goal kick. I don't think that'll continue in every game. I really, really don't. We'll see what happens against Southampton, because Southampton are really, really aggressive as well off the ball. And Southampton have got some really, really good players. So we obviously play them on Saturday. We'll see what happens in that game. But I think there's something there to work with, but this game had certain factors in it, I think, that did suit us. So I think it's a great result. It could be a real sort of, not a season-changing result. You possibly could argue that, but I'd say more of a big first few points for Erik ten Hag. A big first few points. Sancho, let's go on to Sancho. I keep digressing. Sancho, 8 out of 10. I thought he was really, really good. Defensively as well, really, really switched on. Took his goal really well. Worked hard. A few of the things he did are just excellent. I'll say this now. I think he'll be a world-class player. And to be honest with you guys, sorry, I'm losing my voice here. To be honest with you, I think Sancho already has some world-class attributes. I really, really do. I'm not saying he's not world-class at the moment in terms of what he's produced, his output, consistency, all that. But Jadon Sancho, I'm convinced, and I've always said it, although we couldn't rely on him in the last sort of few months. He's had a tough start. but I think he'd be a real good player for us. I really do. Sancho was absolutely brilliant, and I think he's a top player. I also think he's got the work rate, the drive, the determination, the awareness defensively as well. I think he can do it for us. I really, really do. So Sancho, excellent. Rashford, I thought Rashford again, a good performance from Rashford tonight. Again, he's got aspects he can improve on as always, but I'll give Rashford 7. I'll give him I'll give him an 8. I'll give him an 8. He did score a goal, didn't he? An 8 out of 10 for Marcus Rashford. Took his goal really, really well. Tormented Alexander-Arnold in the second half. Really, really good. I've been very critical of Rashford, but fantastic today. And I just hope this is the start of something. But I'm not going to get too carried away. We still, obviously, the owners, we've got the issues there. We need a lot more signings. But this game, really, really happy. Really, really happy. Interesting. Yeah, Dan James could play as over wing back. Actually, that's half a point. The result is good to give morale boost. Yeah, Casemiro, exactly. So, I think to take away from this game, I think Erik ten Hag deserves an immense amount of credit. When things go well in football, when things go well and a team plays like that, we rightly so focus on the players on the pitch, right? The players on the pitch are excellent, some of them, most of them, all of them you could say were excellent, right? But you've also got to think about the manager, the way he set up, the changes he made. If I talk about the subs that came on, Martial was excellent. Obviously set up Rashford for the goal. His general play was excellent. I think he won 1 or 2 fouls. I think off the ball, he could have given more. Martial, in all fairness, in terms of he could have given a bit more off the ball, if I'm being really critical. But on the ball, Martial, when he came on, he was just sensational. He really, really was. Held the ball up well, linked well with teammates. So I think if you look at the way that Erik ten Hag played this, started Elanga, Rashford and Sancho, then he brought Martial on to improved our hold-up play. Obviously, Martial probably couldn't play a full game or 60 minutes, so he wanted to bring him on from the bench, fair enough. And then he got Fred on for a bit more energy. I think Fred did well when he came on. Ronaldo came on, I think, for more of a focal point. And then obviously we had Wan-Bissaka was a good sub as well, I think, to just shore up that sort of our right-hand side. And then my mind's completely gone of who else we brought on. Donny van de Beek, Donny van de Beek came off for Eriksen. Didn't really see much of the ball. But Rashford nearly squared it to him, I think, Martial nearly squared it to him for another goal. So Erik ten Hag deserves immense credit. The way he set up, I said earlier on the show, I would think about a back three. But I said if ten Hag plays his 4-3-3, whoever his 2 wide players are, he's got to be really, really careful with it. And I said if Rashford was on that left-hand side in a 4-3-3, we need to be really, really careful because Rashford would have to do a lot more than he has done in the past defensively. But he started Elanga on the left, which was a bold move. He dropped Ronaldo, started Elanga on the left, really, really good defensively, stopped Alexander-Arnold, got into a good position and stretched him the other way. Same with Sancho against Robertson. So that was excellent, absolutely excellent, the way he set up. Malaysia came in for sure, brilliant. Maguire was dropped and Varane was brought in. That also, you could say, worked out. And bringing McTominay in for Fred, I think, just gave us a bit more physicality. I did say to people sort of on Twitter before the game, when Casemiro comes in, I'll take McTominay out of the team. But for now, against Liverpool, for this game, you probably needed McTominay in the team for a bit more physicality, and he brought that. So, guys, I think Erik ten Hag, if I give him a rating, I give him a 10 out of 10. I give him a 10 out of 10 today in terms of his management of the game, the starting lineup, the substitutions, the way we played. And when we focus on sort of a team, we can focus on all the players that have done excellently well. But if Erik ten Hag started Maguire or started Ronaldo, things could have been completely different. We don't know. We still could have won the game. We might have even won by more. We just don't know. But if you think about how aggressive we were, how good we were as a unit, if you put Ronaldo and Maguire back in that team and played that game again, I'm not too sure we would have come out with the same intensity, the same result overall. And that's no sort of, I'm not criticizing Maguire and Ronaldo as players. I'm just saying for this particular game, I think ten Hag got it spot on. I think he got it spot on. So 10 out of 10 for Ten Hag for me, guys. I just think Ten Hag got it right tonight. And a lot of people, by the way, I've seen a lot of people on Twitter. I said before the game when the team came out, I said, I think it'll be Elanga and Sancho on the wings. They'll have to do a really, really good job. That's where the game will be won and lost, and we won the battle there. And I said I'd like to see Martial. It's a shame that Martial probably isn't ready. That was the only position, really. Martial, I thought, if we put him in the team, that could have really given us a bit more. Really, really could have done. I completely forgot Bruno Fernandes, the player rating. I've just realised. Bruno Fernandes, 8 out of 10. Mostly for his endeavour, his work rate was really, really good. His output could have improved at times. He's a bit rash, nearly scored an own goal as well. But 8 out of 10 for Bruno. I think everyone deserves at least a 7 from this game. But yeah, I thought Bruno showed a lot of heart. He looked like the Bruno of old. He looked like he had something about him. Obviously, had the captain's armband as well. So yeah, big up to Bruno as well. Berta says Rashford, Martial, Sancho, Donny. Yeah, Donny, I think we'll get more minutes. Don't worry about Donny. Please, guys, there's 15 people watching right now. Please smash a like on the video. Let's try and hit 30 likes, guys. Please do subscribe if you're new as well. Bringing lots of daily content out. I haven't been in good health, but I'm trying to sort of improve, and this result has certainly boosted my health, my mental health for sure. But please get involved in the comments. Let me know what you think. But for me, Erik Ten Hag, 10 out of 10 for today. We obviously moved on to Southampton on Saturday. That'll be a tough game, but we need to. I think it's today, as I said, I think some conditions were in our favour. We're at home, crowd were up for it, angry, Glazers out, all this. And I think that boosted the players. And I think the players reacted as well. Sort of the fans reacted to the players, then reacting to the crowd, if that makes sense. But I think there'll be a big test. There'll be a big test when we play Southampton. I really, really do. Southampton away will be a tough game. We've not been good at all away from home. We really haven't. I remember under Ranić at the end of last season, obviously we lost to Liverpool, City, Brighton. We conceded 4 goals at each of those. We were really, really poor away from home. So Southampton's going to be a big test for these players. It's going to be a completely different game, a completely different atmosphere. I think we'll see a few more changes, by the way. I think you might see, I think Martial probably come in. I think you'll probably see Rashford go to the left. I think you might see Casemiro come in. I completely forgot about all that after that. Casemiro is going to come in. My God. Casemiro is going to come in for that game as well. God, I'm happy now. Casemiro is going to come in. Maybe even Frankie de Jong or Anthony might be coming. But still, of course, Glazers, I didn't go to the game today. I was a bit disappointed that the majority of people did go into the ground. I thought more people would maybe sort of go for it, but there wasn't too many people who sort of left their seat empty. But I did tonight, guys. But obviously, it didn't leave much of an impact because not many people did it. But I just hope people continue the fight against the Glazers. Individual results mean nothing. You've got to look at the long-term picture. However, on this channel, I will always try and dissect and sort of analyse individual games. I love to talk about football, but I won't shy away from the stuff off the pitch as well because I think it's important to look at that. Thanks a lot, Adrian, mate. Big up to you. Yeah, every game is a big test. I don't know about you guys, but I was worried at the end. I tell you, I honestly think I nearly went behind the sofa at one point in that game. Towards the end, I started to get a little bit panicked, a little bit nervous. I really did. But fair play to the players, they held on. Excellent. So I'll be back soon, guys. Any other comments, get them in. If there's no more comments, I'll be back soon. I might be back tomorrow, actually. I don't know. I might be back tomorrow, or I'll be on Twitter with some sort of analysis from the game. I'm going to rewatch the game. And I'm just going to watch it again with a fresh set of eyes. I'll sleep on it, watch it again with a fresh set of eyes, and really look into it a bit more. Maybe draw up a few tweets, just a few things that I thought were good from the game. Obviously, Liverpool were really poor for their standards, of course, but that's a massive win for Erik Ten Hag. It really, really is a big win. And I think he needs a lot of credit. I think people need to make sure they give Ten Hag credit. I saw a lot of people last week and the week before, a lot of people blaming Ten Hag for this, that, and the other already. And you can blame Ten Hag for making bad decisions, yes. As long as your main focus, though, is on the ownership, the Glazers, the structure above him, any man that walks into that managerial job is still going to have those issues above to deal with. So you can't blame Ten Hag after 1 or 2 games and say, oh, Ten Hag's, he's the same. He's not learned. He's always. Ten Hag has dropped Maguire. He's dropped Ronaldo. He's dropped Shaw. Dropped Fred. Even if you think he hasn't dropped them because they've been poor, he's took four. He's took Shaw. He's took Fred. He's took Ronaldo. He's took Maguire. 4 players that were mainstays under the previous regime. He's took those 4 players out for this game, and he's put 4 other players in. And you could say every single player that he brought in had a more positive impact, right? So I think Erik Ten Hag deserves a lot of credit. I think people need to make sure they give him a lot of credit because the game plan was really, really good. Really, really good. Ricky de Jong ain't coming. We can only hope, mate. He's playing for a move away, isn't he, Bertus? He's had enough there at Barcelona with all that. Come to play at Man United. We're on a title charge now. We're on a title charge. Don't worry about that. No, please don't clip that up. Please don't clip that. But yeah. Text line, that back line was quite comforting. Yeah, it was. Fair play to everyone today. As I said, fair play to every player out there. That is the game. I have to say, that is a game, probably the game I've most enjoyed, the game I just watched for a long, long time, watching my football team. Now, for you guys watching, for me as well, Manchester United is everything to me. It really is. And my friends will know this, my family will know this. When Manchester United have a bad game, when we have a bad result, I am down for hours, maybe even days, if it's a big loss or if it's like a big loss or I'm losing my voice, guys. If it's a big loss or, a loss to a big team, a loss to a rival, a defeat in the cup, if it's a big game or any game, if we don't win, I'm very, very down. But tonight, I'm really, really happy. I'm not going to get carried away and say, oh, this squad's fantastic. We still need a lot of support for Erik Ten Hag in terms of signings. We still need another midfielder. We need a right back. We need a goalkeeper, and we still need 2 forward players or 2 wide players. I still think so. I still think we need a lot more. But promising signs from the manager and this group of players that we've had a reaction today. But you know what, guys? You know what? There's no good winning this game and then going and losing at Southampton. Against Southampton, we've got to turn up. There's no good winning that game and then not sort of bouncing with another good result. Once you get a result like this against Liverpool, it's a real important time. And I said earlier on the show tonight, I said, oh, it could be a season defining, season turning moment. Then I said, oh, no, it might not be, but you just don't know in football. You just don't know. And although we've got a lot of issues on and off the pitch with the ownership, the players, etc., a lot of people think we need more players, which we do. It just shows when you've got a team that are willing to fight, that match the game plan, and when you've got a manager who understands football and understands the roles and the duties that the players need to carry out, and the players do that, you can get somewhere. You can do it. So this squad still isn't good enough. We still need more additions, but Erik Ten Hag showed today that when you've got a group of individuals that you can try and sort of group into a collective, cohesive unit, working together, it's the basics of football. When you can do that, even if you haven't got the best quality players and the right profiles, you can still make an impact. If you bring the likes of Casemiro, maybe an Anthony or a Gakpo, or you bring a bit more depth into the squad, you bring a right back in, you bring a goalkeeper in, then you're giving Erik Ten Hag more of a chance to really show his philosophy. But for Ten Hag for us to produce that performance with the players that we've currently got, a lot of them that don't fit the right profile that Ten Hag wants in certain positions, that was excellent. So it just shows you guys, football is football, and it always will be. Football is a strange old game. It really is. And that's why I said we can't get too carried away. There's no point winning tonight and then going to Southampton and getting beat and not turning up. We've got to take what we did well in this game, take what we didn't do well as well, transfer that to Southampton. I think there'll be 1 or 2 changes. I think Casemiro will probably come in. You might see Martial come in as well. Possibly, I don't think we'll sign anybody before that sort of Saturday and get them in straight away. I don't know. They might be on the bench if we bring any other players in. But I'd like to see one or two changes again from tonight because I think we'll need to change. So I think definitely bring Casemiro in from McTominay. But yeah, guys, that's what I really think. I think let's not get too carried away. Excellent results, excellent results. But there's still a lot of work to do. There's still a lot of work for the sort of the ownership. Still need to get out of this football club. They've destroyed this football club. Even though we've won tonight, I'm not going to sort of get carried away on that. The structure of the football club still needs to improve. However, big up Eric Ten Hag, big up to every Manchester United player, big up to all the fans tonight, who were excellent. Although we had the empty Old Trafford hashtag and everything, and not many people did it by the looks of it, but the fans were excellent tonight. So thank you to everybody who's given us a good evening tonight because we needed that. Yeah, for sure, mate, for sure. William Sweeney, Anthony Rashford. Yeah, I think Rabiot's not happening. Arnautovic isn't happening. Williams, I think, will probably go. I don't know whether Williams is. I don't think he's gone on yet, but I think he will go. Samuel Guy keep by. Yeah, fair enough, Bertus. Look, I think Baye's halfway out. I think he's halfway out the door anyway. But I see where you're coming from there in terms of Maguire. Yeah, Ten Hag did really well. So that's it, guys. Really, that's it from me. I haven't talked too much about tactics and sort of the analysis. I'm going to try and save that for tomorrow or the next day. Depends when I can get around to it on Twitter or YouTube. But as always, guys, please smash a like on the video. We've got our first 3 points under Eric Ten Hag. Absolutely excellent performance. Brilliant from the manager, brilliant from the players. Please smash a like on the video, guys. If you did enjoy, please do subscribe if you're new as well. I love to sort of grow the community up. I appreciate all the support. And as always, please share the video around if you enjoyed. Get involved in the comments after the show as well. If you're watching this after, I hope you enjoyed it. And yeah, guys, enjoy the rest of your evenings wherever you are. And come on, Manchester United.